Pedro as Kabay to Welt in possession right inside his own 18-yard box. Kante's delivery towards the far post, too much sauce put on it, and it will go behind for a goal kick.
Well, don't know what Kabay was doing there. He's trying to swivel in his own box.
25 minutes gone, Paul Mortimer. 3 goals, full of incident, full of action.
It's been a wonderful 25 minutes, I have to say. Chelsea can find themselves unlucky to be 2-1 down. I've got to say they've made all the play. Palace are playing on the counter-attack, but when they do counter-attack properly, they are creating the odd chance, and Chelsea fully at home, especially in their defending areas, are not quite as secure as you would normally expect.
Tompkins rising imperiously out from the back line to knock a header over halfway. Back with Azpilicueta though for Chelsea. Now Matic, 31 Serbian international caps to his name. Fabregas, lovely, deftly timed ball, but Costa drifting on an offside position. Incredible stat for Cesc Fabregas. I picked up an average of 90.2 passes per Premier League game, best in the Premier League. That means he creates more than one chance every minute he's on the football pitch.
Yeah, he's a magnificent player, he really is, and he's got a good understanding with Eden Hazard. The way you beat teams like Palace, who sort of chock up the midfield, is to move the ball 1 and 2 touch very quickly, and they do it beautifully, which is why they can create time and space to be able to play them fantastic passes into Costa.
Punching in towards the box aim for Benteke, headed away by Cesc Azpilicueta, who's just got a bit of strapping on his left wrist this afternoon. A little knot that he might have picked up on international duty with Spain. One back by Kabay in a dangerous area, feeding Puncheon, who drives it low to the bottom right-hand corner. He had Courtois sprawling to get it covered. Not a bad effort. Decent fizz and swerving
always
on the
going
shot.
Wide. I mean, he's one who can strike a ball. Good anticipation from Kabay. Wins it, and he's looking for the pass again. Kabay wasn't really on. But this is where they have to do better, Palace. 10 yards into Chelsea's half. Stop the supply. Actually go and shut the ball down. Don't give them the time and space there. But Chelsea are a good side, and they get out of it pretty comfortably.
27th Premier League appearance this season for Jason Puncheon. Still no goal this season, though, in the top flight, which might surprise many. Yeah. Alonso on the edge of the box with Hazard. Short into the feet, looking for Fabregas, but standing firm and rigid. James Tompkins clears the ball away. Luis. Palace have just dropped off in the last few minutes, allowing Kante, Matic and Fabregas to get up the pitch for the first time this afternoon. Oh, that's naughty. That's Pedro, offside. The whole pitch to look across there, and he's
that's not easy,
into an offside position.
Everyone seems to think that is
wide
easy.
Man on wide man.
Everyone says it. They think it's easy. Why does it happen so often if it's easy? It's not easy. I'm telling you. It really. Well, you can see the whole game. Now you can't.
A couple of tweets coming in. Mansour joining us saying, listening live, Nigeria enjoying the match, Crystal Palace to win the match 3-2. Oscar saying, Everton fan hoping for a Chelsea defeat. My question is, can Crystal Palace defend for the rest of the match?
It's going to be the problem. I mean, they've got one of two choices: sit back and defend, or they actually do better on the ball and make Chelsea have to work harder defensively.
Under pressure from Costa there. Mamadou Sakho was able to drift out of play, throwing for Chelsea, the hosts, halfway inside opposition territory.
See, this is the problem. They're too deep. They're allowing players to spread the ball, and when it gets there, they're still not tight enough, quick enough. They've got to do better, be more urgent in and around their penalty area.
Bit of space for Hazard before he's met by Miljevic, who just
be in trouble soon.
Hacks him to the deck. That's his second at least. And Hazard this time isn't springing to his feet.
It's a terrible tackle, and literally that was, I'm just going to kick him, literally, because he's never anywhere near the ball. That's just literally, he's done me that low centre of gravity, that first step, and he's 5 yards from the ball. He's nowhere near it. For me, that's what you want to book players for, because there was no intention to tackle the ball at all there.
Alonso hugging this touchline through the legs of Ward. Now Hazard fed by Fabregas. Left of centre, it seems okay. Eden Hazard now. Fabregas opens his body up and switches out to the right hand side for Pedro. Inside the penalty area, apex right centre. Knock off or cushion ball by Hazard into Matic. Firmly fizzed into the feet of Costa, just trying to help it round the corner back into his forward partner Eden Hazard. But it's cleared away by Crystal Palace, who try to lead their own counter-attack. Now David Luiz switched onto the situation and intercepted the ball and brought it away for Chelsea. Now Alonso, a switch of play from left to right, a heavy touch by Nemanja Matic, though it allows Andros Townsend to stab it into the Serb and win a throw-in for his side on halfway.
Again, I'm out of breath. Balls change hands fairly quickly, and it's all at pace. Palace have to get on the ball and just get more consistent, consecutive, confident passes. They've got to slow the tempo down to what it is they want, and make Chelsea defend and make Chelsea run after the ball a little bit more.
Sam Allardyce looking to be the first manager to beat Chelsea with 4 different clubs in a managerial career. His side for the opening 30 minutes have been superb in their approach, their bravery on the ball, and the chances that they've managed to manufacture themselves. So they've taken both of them, and they're in front at the league leaders at this moment in time. Cahill, though, trying to change that as he sees if he can part the sea with a ball forward. Now Costa, Fabregas, in towards Fabregas again. He's so busy in possession.
Foul.
And that's a foul, but it's been given against Jason Puncheon for a challenge on Diego Costa. Was that because he maybe just over the top of the ball, Morts?
Well, again, it's one of those, if Costa gets the ball first, he knows he's taken a knock, and that is basically what happened. It's just overrun. It's a poor pass to him, but he gets there first. He doesn't really catch him. I mean, Costa's already on his way down. He's made a bit of a meal of it. All it is a foul. All it is a foul. But where it is, centrally, maybe 10, 12 yards outside the box, it's a difficult one for Hennessy, because the play could go either way. But if David Luiz is taking it, then it's going to go in Rosette.
Well, they might have said that at Anfield. His one Premier League goal, his only one since April 2013.
Listen, if he puts it on target, fantastic. He's got a touch of the Roberto Carlos's for me. One fantastic free kick, and then that's it.
Played every Premier League minute since his debut in September. It's Luiz over the wall and straight down the throat of Wayne Hennessy. But there was dip, there was fizz on the effort, and Hennessy had to get right in behind it. How on Rosette?
It may as well have been, because he didn't really go for it, did he? You know, it was.
He had your words ringing in his ear.
Yeah, I think he did. He did it. My grandson could have saved that. Thrown his cap on it, no problem.
Now throw in for Palace on this right-hand side. Antonio Conte, Sam Allardyce marshalling, barking instructions out on the edge of their technical areas, not yielded a yard from their respective areas as you'd expect. Breath of fresh air, Antonio Conte really has in the Premier League. But he's met his match in the shouting stakes.
Yeah, I mean, it's a difficult thing for players, because, you know, often players can't hear it anyway. There's 35,000 fans. How can they hear? They can hardly hear them talking to each other. So, you know, the shouting is just for the manager.
Wilfried Zaha down the right side as it bobbled out to him. Quick feet, steps on the outside of Nemanja Matic. And then with a little chink of the hips, comes up against Marcos Alonso, who's got back at him. The wing back, and under pressure from the goal scorer, managed to clear the ball away with the help of Gary Cahill. Over halfway looking for Costa, header won by Tompkins. Mamadou Sakho did really well to bring the ball down out of the air.
Ball to him.
As Kabay smashed it into him at close range.
This is better from Palace. Just composing themselves, getting touches of the ball, and then Joel Ward gives it away. He doesn't really need to. Zaha looks like he wasn't ready for it anyway, just had a run. Maybe he's coming back from that. But lovely skill from Zaha, but at some point he's got to know when to drop them bits of skill, and when he's got to release the ball.
And heading into this afternoon, Zaha been fouled more than any other player, 78 times. Such an athletic, slender frame, so quick and clever with the ball at his feet. You can see why he is fouled so often.
What he tends to do is he'll show you the ball, a bit like Hazard, show you the ball and whip it away very quickly, and very good at that.
The ball was aimed for there for Wilfried Zaha, and he feels he should have had another one to his collection there, as he was held still by David Luiz. Gary Cahill out from the back for Chelsea. The centre-half with options ahead of him. Shaw in the form of Matic and Kante. Costa in behind, as for Laqueta as well. But there's not a whole host of people you really suggest in the blue of Chelsea that wanted the ball, that were demanding the ball. And N'Golo Kante's got it at his feet here, though. Inside the centre circle. The Frenchman forward into Matic's feet. He's got Hazard stepping inside him. There's no width though. Finally it comes from Marcos Alonso. First on ball forward looking for Hazard. Intercepted and cleared behind. And out of play by Joel Ward. Thrown taken quickly by Chelsea. Kante lobs it out to this right side with Pedro. Brings the ball onto his chest under pressure from Andros Townsend. Well organised here, but Pedro steps on the outside of Townsend and leaves him standing in towards the box, straight down the throat of Hennessy.
And you can see in terms of wide men, Pedro's in charge over there. He's really giving Townsend a very difficult time defensively. But this is where you can see Palace working really hard defensively and also concentrating and focusing on the job in hand. And how long can they do that for? It's very difficult to do for 90 minutes.
A deadlock broken at the King Power Stadium. Leicester taking on Stoke. David Windsor.
Mahrez with the touch, and Riyad Mahrez enjoying himself this afternoon. Ball is to Ndidi. Ndidi opens up for Ndidi, who has a go, and it's an absolutely fantastic goal. Incredible moment from Ndidi, who gives Leicester City the lead.
We're coming together here at Stamford Bridge between Hazard and Ward. And then a little bit of retribution dished out there, and Craig Pawson will now act. Antonio Conte furious on the edge of his technical area. Didn't see an awful lot in the first one. There was certainly a foul by Costa, who came to deal with the situation, let's say, as Diego Costa can at times.
Yeah, the first one's not a foul for me. No, it's not a foul at all. I think he's played for that. It's never a foul. There's a coming together of two players. The second one is a foul, most definitely. When you get fouled as many times as Hazard, there's almost like an entitlement. You know, you've caught me, so I'm entitled to go down. There definitely better be a foul, but it's not the case all the time.
Hennessy, one or two important saves in this first period, with his side in front at the league leaders. 36.5 minutes played. You're on Premier League Live with Talk Sport. Kante now for Pedro, who's opened his legs up and he drives. Dynamic run down the right side, but his cross was pretty poor, cleared away by Sakho, the first man. Kante picks up the pieces you so often see from the Frenchman for back-to-back Premier League titles. In towards Costa, on the spin, shoots, cleared by Tompkins and then helped away by Sakho. Very good defending from the former Hammer, James Tompkins.
Yes, it was good defending. Good play from Costa, good centre-forward play, got the ball into feet, managed to turn. Lovely skill. I've got to say, he's been fantastic holding the ball up on the edge of the box, although Sakho wins it there, but good play from Costa.
They keep coming, Chelsea. There's a feeling of attack against defence at this moment in time. Alonso on the left, short for Cahill, the centre-half forward to join the attack. Now Matic, they're queuing up Hazard with a little back flick into Costa. Now Alonso down the left side, fired across the 6-yard box, flashed across the goal, and again there was no blue shirt of Chelsea, surely to tap the ball into an unguarded net.
Wonderful play again from Chelsea. They probe and they get there. It's almost like, can we find the spare player? They do in Alonso, who produces a great cross. The problem is, if it goes wide, you should be flying to get in the box, and not enough people. They're all on their heels waiting for it to be cut back. Good cross. It's a tap-in. The only players there were Palace defenders.
Matic, Cruyff turn away from Milijevic. Now Pedro, who's had plenty of the ball high on that right-hand side, playing wing-back this afternoon. Hazard through the gears, shoots from the narrow angle. It was an acute drive from Eden Hazard, and it was well saved by Hennessy. You expect him to save it, but he's got to get in behind it.
Again, it's wonderful, and you look at them on the edge of the box. They've got a lot of players there, Palace, not doing enough.
Corner taken quickly by Chelsea into Fabregas with a disguise flick from Hazard, who's turning on the style, Eden Hazard.
Oh, it's wonderful.
This afternoon, he's been at the heart of absolutely everything in this match.
But the problem is they're under no pressure. The Palace players are all there, they're all standing there, but no one is showing the urgency to get tight, shut them down, and actually get a block in. No one's getting tight enough.
They're standing up, Crystal Palace. They're standing firm.
Yeah, but they're also standing still, some of the defenders. They've got to get to the pitch of this and go and shut people down properly. Look, even now, Alonso, the ball comes to Kante. There's no one really. Look at Hazard, gets it. There's no one. Matic, no one.
Matic, saved by Hennessy, pushing it out, and it's cleared away by Tompkins. Surely it's a matter of time for Conte's Chelsea to strike back in this match. Pedro now on the edge of the box. Hazard, Matic onto his left foot, shapes to shoot, just steps on the outside of the challenge of Cabaye. Milijevic does sweep it away, but it's going to come straight back. Benteke hasn't touched the ball in 5, 6, 7 minutes. Crystal Palace can't get out.
Like I said to you before, and you could see it, when Chelsea get the ball in 10 yards outside Palace's penalty area, none of the Palace players are showing enough urgency to get tight and go and block, or even put the Chelsea players under pressure. They're not really under enough pressure. You allow players with that kind of quality, they're going to click once and they're going to get it right. Palace are riding their luck at the moment.
5 minutes to go at the end of this first period. Chelsea 1, Crystal Palace 2. The opening goal from Cesc Fabregas broke the deadlock, but Crystal Palace very quickly struck back in this match. A wonderful effort from Wilfried Zaha from his right foot, low back lift, driving it past Thibaut Courtois, and that was followed by another free-flowing counter-attack from Sam Allardyce's side, cleverly finished by Christian Benteke for his 10th goal of the season. Since then, though, excellent saves, 3 or 4 really top-draw saves from Wayne Hennessy to make sure that Crystal Palace hold on to the lead. They've managed to work for themselves. Townsend, a rare incursion forward for Crystal Palace here. Jason punching down the right-hand side. Good upper body strength to hold off Marcos Alonso. Now Townsend again. Swivels on a sixpence away from the wing back, and is that a last touch off Marcos Alonso? It is. Corner for Crystal Palace. Battle. And a little bit of respite.
Yes, it is. It's what they need. Like you say, 4 or 5 minutes left to go. It's about managing this now. Important for them to go in still leading. Important. The team talks. Sam Allardyce will have an idea in his head what he wants to say. Can they make something out of this set piece? I would go for it, but remember how quickly Chelsea counter-attack.
Yeah, Sacco forward, Tompkins as well, the in-swinger from Townsend. Tompkins at the far post, just flicks a header onto the roof of the net. He was unmarked.
Well, you're looking at heading that back across the goal. He's never scoring from there. Absolutely never scoring from there. Headed back across the goal. Benteke, probably Milijevic, probably in there.
I have to say, the marking of David Luiz there, questionable at best.
Well, he's a good player, but for me, he's still got a mistake in him, and questionable defending, like you said.
That's this left-hand side with Marcos Alonso. Short into the feet of Costa.
They can do what they want. Costa got it there. He's not really under any pressure. They've got to, when Benteke gets it, he's under pressure.
Kante into Alonso. Held off in a firm drive from the centre-half, sees Azpilicueta, who's not known for his goals. No goals this season. He's one of 3 Chelsea players alongside Cahill and Courtois to start every Premier League game this season.
Well, Palace will have that. If Azpilicueta's the one shooting, having not scored, I think from 25 yards, I think Palace will take that. They'll be comfortable with that. Been a good game, a really good positive half. Both teams are going for it. Both teams want to win the game, and like I say, Chelsea can count themselves unfortunate not to be at least level.
We had the Merseyside derby earlier as well. South Coast face-off later on between Southampton and Bournemouth. Dan Wheeler and Jason Dodd are coming for that, and also tomorrow full commentary of Arsenal taking on Manchester City. So the top draw excellent football carries on coming here on Premier League Live with TalkSport.
Hasn't let us down yet either. Some good games, good results, lots of goals. Can't ask for any more than that.
Matic. Now can Chelsea strike back on the stroke level heading into the second half? Schlupp's clearance away is soft. It goes straight to Azpilicueta. El Pedro in an overlapping run, behind by Yohan Cabaye, who's a different player in recent weeks as well, the former Newcastle and PSG midfielder. It will be a Chelsea corner though, and Crystal Palace have conceded 16 set-piece goals this season, the most of any Premier League side. Fabregas into Pedro on the edge. Luiz looking to pick up the baton, and it's smashed away, stabbed away by Tompkins. Batten down the hatches, isn't it?
It is, and they'll be looking at the clock. They'll know where they are, Crystal Palace, so will Chelsea. And it's about Palace just denying space, but they've got... It's almost like they outnumber Palace all over the pitch.
Milijevic, that's his 3rd in my records. Surely he can't get many more before he's put into Craig Pawson's book, the referee.
He's getting away with him at the moment.
Shoulder barging Matic illegally off the ball there. Free kick opportunity for Chelsea. 35 yards from goal, right of centre, standing over at the right foot of Cesc Fabregas. Clips it into the danger area. An unmarked header and a good save, Hennessy. just pushing, I think, Nemanja Matic header over the bar. We're not sure if it was dipping underneath the crossbar, but Hennessy was taking no risks at all, and Nemanja Matic is relatively easily getting up above 2 Crystal Palace markers there.
Well, it's a free header, and that's the thing you don't want. Not with a few seconds to go. He should be marked. It's a free header, but there's no pace on the cross.
Hazard with an in-swinger hits the front man, Andros Townsend. It was fizzing, it was low trajectory. Got to beat the first man. 2 out of minutes at the end of this first period that's been absolutely super stuff. Breathless, entertaining action. 3 goals inside the opening 12 minutes. A throw into the box, flicked on, and Luis attacks it. Cahill helps it on. Luis got a running jump on Mamadou Sakho. Let's say, this game could have 6-7 goals.
Well, there's some strange play, I've got to say. How can you throw it into Palace's box and Cahill's spare? That doesn't make sense to me.
At the other end, Townsend in towards Ward. Benteke's allowed to bring the ball down onto his thigh before Azpilicueta volleys the ball away. But again, the defending, real questions being asked. Hazard on halfway tries to lead the charge for the Blues. His ball for Costa is chested away by Mamadou Sakho. Now Ward from right to left, arrow towards Wilfried Zaha, and it's headed away by Pedro in the right back berth.
That's great play, I've got to say. Both teams get it, are going forward, are passing forward, are trying to run forward, which leaves the game open, doesn't it?
It's attackers getting the better of defenders, you have to say, in this 45 minutes.
At the moment, most definitely. They're asking more questions of the defenders, which is good to see for the neutral.
Our summariser this afternoon, former Palace winger Paul Mortimer alongside myself, Dan Windle. A chance to reflect on what's been an excellent opening 45 minutes, with the half-time whistle fast approaching. Matic tracked by Zaha, switches it, good pressing from Zaha, who just caught him out on his blind side, just forced him off balance, forced him to rush his ball forward. It will be a throw in for Palace. It looks like they might have just done enough to get them into half-time, holding the lead at Stamford Bridge, and not many, Paul Mortimer, this season have been able to say that.
Exactly right. I know there's another 45 to go, but their take, this is wonderful so far, wonderful play from Palace so far, and well deserved.
And there goes the half-time whistle. 3 goals, 12 opening minutes at Stamford Bridge. It was Cesc Fabregas who broke the deadlock with a clever finish after he was found by excellent work down the left-hand side by Eden Hazard. But Crystal Palace, full of confidence, looking for their 4th consecutive Premier League win under Sam Allardyce. Stroked back very quickly indeed. An excellent run and finish by Wilfried Zaha. And then, straight off the back of that as well, in what was a breathless period of play, Christian Benteke cleverly finishing a counter-attack for Crystal Palace. The views of Paul Mortimer alongside myself, Dan Windle, to come at half-time. Half-time, Chelsea 1, Crystal Palace 2. You're listening to Premier League Live with Talk Sport.
The Talk Sport Clips of the Week.
Back to the sports news. Here's Daisy Gray.
Manchester City surrendered a 2-goal lead to draw 2-2 with Tottenham in the Premier League's late game. It means they're now 9 points behind leaders Chelsea, who play tomorrow. Earlier, Wayne Rooney became the best 1-1 record, and Sir Bobby Charlton. That's the latest. I'm Daisy Gray.
Well, that's all we've talked about this week on the station, isn't it? How Wayne Rooney became the best 1-1 record and Bobby Charlton.
What is he? I don't even know how that even happens.
We don't know.
It's incredible.
We don't know what happened.
Somebody suggested that she dropped her script. Who knows?
And she winged it.
I'd say that may be what happened. Yeah. And from football news to tennis, and Lisa O'Sullivan.
He's taken the first set 6-3, but is currently trying to stay in the second set. Grigor Dimitrov.
Yeah, I can't see old Dimitar Berbatov doing much running round the court.
The Talk Sport Clips of the Week. My sporting life, defining moments from Talk Sport.
A remarkable Matthew Hayden. My concern was actually when I went into the dressing room at tea time before I broke at that time world record. I went up to Stephen Waugh and I said, mate, surely we have got enough runs. I mean, we can win this test match today. Let's just do it. He said, no. He wanted no bar of it. No. He said, mate, I want you to go on and get 400. And I said, well, Tug, I'm just embarrassed, mate. Like, honestly, how much more do we really need? He said, I don't care, just go on, just bat. So when I got out in the middle, it was kind of that attitude, actually, when I look back at it, for maybe 150 runs. I just didn't really care. And I'd say that with all due respect as well. I had the attitude that it didn't matter whether I was going to get out, because I was scoring so freely that I was just in this massive ball of momentum that everything just pinged off the bat. And even when I sort of thought, I might have mishit that, I had the sense at least to think, which way is the wind coming? And, it ended up disappearing out of the ground. There was that kind of touch.
Legends of sport recall their major achievements with Danny Kelly. My Sporting Life on Talk Sport.
La Liga, live over on Talk Sport 2. Tonight from 7.
Hear live commentary of Malaga versus Atletico Madrid.
Charging into the area. Oh, what a finish!
La Liga, live.
Malaga versus Atletico Madrid.
Tonight from 7. Over on Talk Sport 2. Because sport never stops.
Trouble now for Arsenal.
Kick-by-kick commentary, expert opinion, international coverage of the world's most exciting football league. Premier League Live. Brought to you by Talk Sport Live.
Premier League Live.
Oh, my word! Philip Coutinho!
All the goals and all the action from the most exciting league in the world.
Brilliant!
Now here is Ibrahimovic, 35 yards out, right foot shot. Oh, magnificent!
Download the free TalkSport app from talksport.com/apps. Or, if you're in the Caribbean, you can hear every game live on the Flow Football app. Stay on the ball. Download it today from your app store.
You're listening to Premier League Live with TalkSport. Me, your host, Emma, alongside me, our summaриser, Paul Mortimer. Half-time at Stamford Bridge. The league leaders are behind, losing by 2-1. A breathless, frenetic first period. Crystal Palace 2-1 in front. Goals for Zaha and Benteke after Fabregas' opening goal for the hosts. It's been excellent here. What's the action been like elsewhere in the Premier League this afternoon? Here's the best of the half-times. Goes back and cuts in towards the box, and Diego is that Fabregas. It is. It says Fabregas getting in ahead of his marker. First blood inside the first 5 minutes for Chelsea, and it says Fabregas with his 4th goal this season, holding off the challenge. Quetta, and he smashes it low into the bottom right-hand corner, and Crystal Palace respond thanks to the excellent Wilfried Zaha with a drive from the edge of the box. It's 2-1 here. It's Christian Benteke around Thibaut Courtois, and he lobs the ball into the back of the net. The champions-elect, the Premier League leaders are behind at Stamford Bridge. 2 goals in 3 minutes for Crystal Palace.
Press well in towards Andy Carroll, who's all alone, and Andy Carroll does score. It's West Ham who break the deadlock.
To Ndidi. Ndidi opens up for Ndidi, who has a goal, and it's an absolutely fantastic goal. Incredible moment from Ndidi, who gives Leicester City the lead.
Paul Mortimer alongside me. So to answer that, Mort's not an awful lot's happened elsewhere, but we've had our fair share here, haven't we?
Yeah, we've been fortunate, haven't we? It's had absolutely everything. Both teams have been going for it. Both defences have been under pressure. We've had good goals, we've had missed chances, we've had absolutely everything we would want. And the score's not what we expected, if we're truthfully honest.
Because I think credit to Palace for the way they've approached it. They've been brave in possession, they've been brave with their approach this afternoon, but it's end to end, and you have to say that defensively neither side are really at it. The one thing we are sure, there's got to be more goals.
Well, I can't see the goal scoring having ended. I've got to say, Hennessy's made a couple of decent saves because he's had to, because they've been carved open, and they have, by some of Chelsea's play. But I think what Allardyce would definitely stress is, 10 yards outside their box, the players have to show a little bit more urgency in defence. The Chelsea players are getting time to control it, look up, turn, and play their 1 and 2 touch stuff under very little pressure, and that's not happening to Benteke and Zaha when they're outside Chelsea's box. They're getting real physical challenges, and that's what needs to happen.
Earlier on we brought you a very entertaining Merseyside derby which finished Liverpool 3, Everton 1 at Anfield. Let's hear the post-match comments of the Liverpool boss Jurgen Klopp alongside the Toffees manager Ronald Koeman.
We knew of course about the intensity we need to be ready for, and I thought we were, and then after the first few minutes we controlled the game. We found the spaces between the lines. We brought Phil in really good positions. Actually, I said to the boys before the game, it needs to be a mixture of being really smart and emotional, but not only emotional.
We had a game plan, tried to press them. We make it really difficult. We came back after unlucky goal, good goal, but unlucky goal between the legs, and that's always difficult for the goalkeeper. I think we controlled the game. It was really a face-to-face game in the first half. We come back 1-1, and we conceded, in my opinion, too easy, the 2-1. Except the quality of Coutinho, everybody knows his finish is great.
So Liverpool boosting their prospects of a top 4 place by beating their Merseyside rivals. Is that just where Everton are at this moment in time? That many are linking them to possible top 4 ambitions, certainly top 6. But actually, when it comes to the big games, those big afternoons against the big 4 in the league, the big clubs, they just find a little wanting. And again, something like Romelu Lukaku, not really an influence in the game.
Yeah, they came up short, didn't they? And you know, even in the game, you know, as much as we listen to what Roman Koeman say, for me, Liverpool bossed the game. For me, they had the big game players who bossed it. They played 4 kids, I've got to say, Everton, and they did really well, I've got to say, but when you don't have enough, you know, that's the kind of result you get in the big games, as you said. Yeah,
a day of derbies. The best of the South Coast face-off later on. UK time, 5:30 kick-off. Dan Wheeler and Jason Dodd take you through Southampton and Bournemouth. Let's hear from those two managers, Claude Puel and Eddie Howe.
I say every 2 weeks it's very difficult for the teams, the staff to keep always this good concentration, but it's a finish line until the end of the season. It's important to stay with a good focus and the good quality on the pitch, and we will see where we can finish. It's important to take game after game and to give always a good response.
I think it's very much just a case of looking at this game. So, you know, we know the importance of this game, especially with the fixtures we've got to come beyond this one. So we're looking forward to it. We never won at Southampton. I think that's a really big thing for us as a football club. For the nearest club to us, you know, the proximity of the clubs is very close. Our supporters would feel the importance of this game, and we respect that, and you know, want to give our supporters obviously what they crave, which would be a win. So no, I think we acknowledge it's a different game.
We know, Morts, how much bragging rights derby matches mean to the fans, but actually, you've been the other side of it as a player. How much does it mean to the players?
Of course it means something to the players, because you know each other. You do know each other quite well, and there's that gentle ribbon, without a doubt. People do take the mickey out of each other, and then the next time it comes, if you haven't won a couple, they're on the text and the WhatsApp and what have you, and they're giving you grief. So and what it does for you is you don't want to lose. You don't want to lose the next one, I'm telling you, because you're going to get abuse again.
And you know, Bournemouth, a good run of form of late, probably drank themselves clear. Southampton stuck very much in mid-table mediocrity. It's a game being the other side, isn't it? When you're running, doesn't have an awful lot on it.
Exactly right. Yeah, these are big games for that part of the world. And you know, often fans will say, "I don't care about the others, as long as we beat these twice. I don't care where we are, as long as we beat these twice." And so that's how important it is for the fans, but it's also important for the players.
Well, Chelsea have won 17 of 18 home games this season, but they find themselves currently behind against Sam Allardyce's Crystal Palace by 2-1. Second half commentary coming very shortly indeed on Premier League Live with TalkSport.
The Indian Premier League is coming to TalkSport 2. This April, hear full match commentary of all the big games featuring the biggest names in cricket, including Ben Stokes.
And that six seals the deal.
Kagiso Rabada.
Over. Straight through it. He's bowled in.
Virat Kohli.
Kohli, who tops it down behind point for 4.
Timo Mills.
He's bowled it all. Ends up first ball.
And Khan Sharma.
Through it on. That's a lovely shot.
Starting with the first match between Sunrisers Hyderabad and Royal Challengers Bangalore on April the 5th.
They got something to cheer about.
The Indian Premier League over on TalkSport 2.
Talk Sport. The biggest names in the game. Presenter profile. Name.
This is Jim White, and I present the mid-morning show on Talk Sport.
Favourite moment in sport.
There have been so many. Andy Murray winning Wimbledon.
Favourite film.
Midnight Run with Robert De Niro and Charles Grodin.
Best guest.
Here at Talk Sport, I would say it has to be Stilian Petrov, formerly Aston Villa and Celtic. Very, very emotional show, that.
If you could have scored one goal, what would it have been?
It would have been James McFadden's goal, that wonderful left foot strike against France in Paris.
Favourite music.
The Rolling Stones.
First job.
Journalist on a newspaper called the Hamilton Advertiser outside Glasgow.
How do you prepare for a show?
Get myself out of bed, basically.
Talksport presenter you'd love to work with, but haven't.
There are many. Probably it would have to be the wonderful, the glamorous and extremely talented Georgie Bingham.
Can't get any better than that.
The biggest names in the game on DAB Digital Radio and 1089 and 1053 AM. Talk Sport.
Download the Talk Radio app and get the biggest names in British broadcasting, wherever you are, whenever you want them. Download the Talk Radio app and get the new big thing in British broadcasting, wherever you are, whenever you want it. Listen live. Get Paul Ross when you're on the road, and Ian Lee wherever you may be. Download the Talk Radio app for free from your app store now. Exciting Football League, Premier League Live, brought to you by Talk Sport Live.
Premier League Live.
Oh my word! Philip Coutinho!
All the goals and all the action from the most exciting league in the world.
Yeah! Brilliant! Now here is Ibrahimovic, 35 yards out, right foot shot! Oh, magnificence!
Download the free TalkSport app from talksport.com/apps. Or, if you're in the Caribbean, you can hear every game live on the Flow Football app. Stay on the ball. Download it today from your app store.
So welcome to our coverage of Chelsea against Crystal Palace from Stamford Bridge. I'm your host, Dan Windle, alongside me the former Crystal Palace winger Paul Mortimer. You're listening to Premier League Live with Talk Sport, and a half-time scoreline that not many of us would have expected. Maybe the brave punter might have laid a few quid on Crystal Palace, in good form in recent weeks under the resurgent Sam Allardyce, but it's the visitors that lead at Fortress Stamford Bridge by 2-1. Both sides back out in front of us. Just seeing some stats, Mort's alongside. No save from Thibaut Courtois, just a couple of times picking the ball out the back of his own net.
Yes, it's a weird one, isn't it? And when they scored very early at Chelsea, you're kind of thinking it looked ominous, didn't it? And it's not. It's the whole thing's changed. I think they've made a change, haven't they?
Yeah, Scott Dan, the club captain, we've seen out there at half-time. Just waiting to confirm if that might be if that's a tactical change or replacing potentially James Tompkins.
Looks like Tompkins.
So I can't see out there.
Tompkins.
It looks like James Tompkins replaced by Scott Dan. So a reshuffling what's been a pretty steady back line in recent weeks for Crystal Palace. Flicked on by Benteke as it's restarted down this left-hand side. A reshuffle at the heart of your defence, that might be a blow.
Well, it will do, because he's a different type of player. Tompkins was far more agile, maybe quicker, and so it may pose a different kind of problem for Palace defensively.
We'll run through them two lineups when we get an opportunity, with Chelsea kicking from left to right in this second period. Up from the back with Thibaut Courtois. He works it out to this left-hand side. Alonso challenging the air with Ward. The two of them combined. But it's back with Palace. Puncheon. First on stab curl ball by Cabaye into the path of Zaha. And it will be cleared out of play by Cahill. It's Courtois, Azpilicueta, Luis and Cahill making up the defensive unit for Chelsea. Pedro, Kante, Matic and Alonso, with Fabregas just floating in the hole in behind Hazard and Diego Costa. For Palace with that one change, James Tompkins off, Scott Dan on. It's Hennessy, Ward, Dan, Sacco and Schlupp making up the back five. Cabaye and Milijajevic, Zaha, a goal scorer, Puncheon and Townsend, and also Christian Benteke leading their line. Zaha just smothered off the ball, limping away from that incident. Goal kick for the hosts. Just gives an idea more to the words of Antonio Conte at half-time.
Well, I think he would have just said keep going, cut out the errors, defend properly. you've created enough chances to be ahead, and they have really. But for a bit of poor finishing and good saves from the keeper, they've created enough chances. Literally, they'll have been here before, not often, but they'll have been here before, and so they'll just continue to play. Palace are the ones who will have the problem.
You're relying on your own self-belief, aren't
exactly
you? That excellent home form that they've been dependent on this season.
Exactly right. They know that, and what they'll remember is Palace are down there because a full 90 minutes concentrated performance is not something they've been able to produce on a regular basis. So they will get chances, Chelsea, without a doubt. It's just whether they take them or not.
Already Hennessy just trying to press the clock, take every second he's allowed. Out to this left-hand side with Townsend. Milijevic across the halfway line. Out from the back with Dan. Maroon on Twitter saying Palace playing according to their plans, but we still believe we will win. At TalkSport Live, you can of course get involved with our Twitter. Out from the back now with Kante. Out to this right-hand side with Pedro. Kante again 40 yards from goal. Into the path of Nemanja Matic. Marcus Alonso yarding from this left side. Possession, once more that word, patience from Chelsea. David Luiz over halfway with his left foot, strokes it out to this near side with Pedro. The overlapping run of Eden Hazard will now test out Mamadou Sakho in the penalty area. Hangs the ball up towards the far post, flicked down by Diego Costa, but Hennessy stretching every sinew just to clamber up above. And again, Fabregas in the box.
Out of absolutely nothing, that was. And again, Sakho manages to get drawn out, and this is what Hazard wants. Hazard against Sakho, only one winner. Clips the ball up to the back post. It's a bit much for Costa, really, but it's a warning shot for Crystal Palace in terms of how to defend.
Options on the bench, forward-thinking options for Diego Costa, who doesn't often go to his bench, as we mentioned. Fewest players used this season, fewest amount of changes to the starting lineup this season as well. They've got Batshuayi, Ruben Loftus-Cheek as well, an option. Two players are obviously on the fringe of his thinking.
It's a booking, it may well be.
There was a challenge, stretching was Costa, and he caught Mamadou Sakho just high up on his right leg.
They don't want to be losing him, I've got to say.
And a yellow card, the first of the afternoon for Diego Costa, and the Stamford Bridge natives are less than pleased. Stretching out.
Yeah, it's ugly.
It's just a collision of knees. There's no studs or anything, is there?
For once, for me, he's actually gone for the ball, but Sakho is just quicker, and it's one of those, I think if he doesn't get the ball, he's going to get himself in trouble, and he did.
Now Diego Costa playing with the yellow card to his name, walking that proverbial disciplined tightrope.
Benteke's got to do more for me. There's got to be a little bit more. Ball goes up to Costa like that. He makes sure that the defender doesn't get a free header. And I watch Benteke and he just doesn't.
Clipped forward by Sakho. Good quick feet from Gabai, trying to cushion it into the path of Zaha. One back by Pedro, and now Matic threads it over halfway for Diego Costa. It's left by Hazard for the centre forward. Now Fabregas, Kante picking up the pieces. Matic coming into the picture, steps on the outside of the captain Jason Puncheon. Now into that corridor of uncertainty, but Sakho, Hennessy, Dan, all on the same wavelength, leaving it for the goalkeeper.
Lovely play, but only Costa in there. Everyone else is on their heels, waiting for the perfect pass. You've got to make the pass the perfect one by making runs and showing that desire to you get across the near post. That would have given Hennessy problems, but they didn't manage to do that, Chelsea.
A second goal at the King Power Stadium. There for us, David Windsor.
I think the Stoke City penalty area whenever he could in the opening half. It's a chance for Jamie Vardy, and Leicester City double their advantage. It didn't take long, and it didn't take much. Cross into the penalty area, and Jamie Vardy continues his fine goal-scoring run of form.
Another goal for Jamie Vardy. Good news for Leicester, good news for England. Delivered by Alonso into the far post, flicked down by Fabregas. He put it back where it came from.
and he's expecting a player to be there to smash that into the net, but it didn't happen.
Towards the box, firm header away by Dan in ahead of Alonso on the penalty spot. Azpilicueta winning the aerial tussle with Christian Benteke, and again pieces retrieved by Hazard. Zaha, good flick though for Christian Benteke, and some respite for Palace. Benteke holding off the snapping Matic. Still going, Christian Benteke.
It's not good enough.
Pedro.
It's not good enough for me.
Throws it off him.
It's not good enough. Look
they're
what it's
going through
caused.
the gears. It's Costa, found by Pedro, into the penalty area, narrow angle, leaves Dan on his backside, and then blocked out by the defender, Scott Dan in the end. He left Ward on his backside, who committed with a sliding challenge, but Dan stood up, didn't commit to the move, didn't dive in. Good defending.
Great defending, but it comes from Benteke losing the ball again. If the ball keeps coming back, players will not squeeze up. You'll see Palace go deeper and deeper and deeper. And great defending, but I don't know how long they can hold out.
Little pocket of space, Fabregas, as he found Costa, who dives in. Hennessy was brave at the feet of Diego Costa. The wait goes on for his 50th Premier League goal. That was brave goalkeeping by Hennessy. He's being absolutely central to this Crystal Palace rearguard.
Well, that's what's going to happen. He has to have a good game, and they get lucky, I think. But he's out very quickly, and it's a very brave save. But they've got to focus. They've got to concentrate. They've got to keep the ball better, because they just keep giving it back to Chelsea, and Chelsea play such an explosive sort of attacking sort of formation and desire that they create chances out of nothing. Palace have to get their foot on the ball. They have to keep it a little bit better than they are at the moment.
54 minutes gone. Chelsea 1, Crystal Palace 2. 3 goals in the opening 12 minutes of the affair. Since then, incident action, saves for Wayne Hennessy, some of them excellent. Options. How much longer does he wait before the likes of Willian, Batshuayi, Ruben Loftus-Cheek, all forward-thinking players?
Willian's the one for me. Willian's the one for me because he will change things.
Straight in.
Yeah, he'll change things. He's quick. He can move with the ball. He'll bring them something different, and I think he'd be the one. It's just you considering who would come off. I would probably say Matic or Conte, actually. Maybe Fabregas or Pedro, but Fabregas has done well. So
Alonso blocked off the ball by Milicevic. Out to this right-hand side for Pedro, though. In towards the box with Diego Costa. One blue shirt to aim for, and it was shackled successfully before Hazard keeps the ball in and does brilliantly for Chelsea. Finding Marcos Alonso, delivers into the box. That cross is poor. Cleared away by Scott Dan. It's relentless. Breathless. Hugely entertaining. Pedro, space down this right side, up against Schlupp.
That's a better ball.
It's a ball onto the chest, brought down by Costa. He had the freedom of Stamford Bridge to bring the ball onto his chest and hammer the ball goalwards. But brave last-ditch defending from Scott Dan. He's down holding his right knee. And there's a real concern from both, not just Joe Ward, but Diego Costa, that he just went down awkwardly, maybe twist his knee in making what was and certainly looked like a goal-saving block.
It's a great block, but I think he's just got his foot caught in the turf. I think
just when they came together as well.
As they're coming together, and it looked painful. And the response of the players tells you that it's probably not great, and they may well have to make a change, I'd say.
Yeah,
he looks in pain.
Costa's still having a word with Scott Dan, and the stretcher's being called for, and real concern the urgency of the ambulance staff to try and deliver some aid to Scott Dan, the club captain, who only came on at half-time for the injured James Tompkins. And this does leave Palace in a tricky situation. They do have also Damien Delaney, the experienced Republic of Ireland.
He'll have to come on if we see it again.
Oh, Mona's
he gets out to the ball. Oh, yes,
it's the right ankle, isn't it?
Yeah.
Just Costa following through, and as he came down, catching the ankle. That could be a broken ankle.
Yeah, that's not nice. That's not nice at all.
And it will be Damien Delaney, who's very quickly stripped off and ready to be introduced, thrown into the Lions' den.
Well, it's not going to faze him. I mean, he's an experienced international defender. He'll have been here before, without a doubt. Lost his place in the side, because of Tompkins and Sacco's come along. You feel for Scott Dan, you really do. And as you see it again, it's just where he's landed, Costa, and his eyes are on the ball. It's just where he's landed. I'm not so sure it's intentional.
Another goal elsewhere. Let's get to the KCOM Stadium. Is it the lever of West Ham extended their lead? Mikey Pereira.
Up towards Atma Hernandez. Neat passes there. Grzycki in a little bit of space. That's a neat pass. Robertson with the chance. It's in. Andrew Robertson levels things up for Hull. And what a big goal that could be in Hull's fight against relegation. It's got them going again here.
To Slaven Bilic, while we've got a stoppage in play, some treatment, and unfortunately it's a stretcher that will be needed to get Scott Dan off the pitch. Mikey Crystal Palace centre half. Does Slaven Bilic survive a defeat at the KCOM if they lose to Hull City this afternoon?
I'd like to think so, because there's a lot more football to be played. But you're hearing all these things all week. There's no denying the fact that there's pressure there, and exerted from the top too. And he will need to win. I mean, he's got some winnable games coming up, and this is the start of them. He needs to win it.
Yeah, Willian has come on for Nemanja Matic.
Yeah, it's not a surprise. Don't need Conte and Matic, not on today.
And that change will be made, and warm applause to be given to Scott Dan. And our best wishes are with Dan, hoping it's not as bad as it first looked, and certainly we suggest maybe. And it will be Damien Delaney, so the third centre half that we used in this position.
And they have to concentrate now, because this delay in the game can work for you or against you. They've built up a really good momentum, head of steam, Chelsea, and they're going to have to do that again. Palace, when you lose a player like that, it can galvanise you a little bit sometimes. It can go the other way, but it can also galvanise you. We want to do it for him now. They've made a double substitution, haven't they? That's very early, I've got to say.
Martin Kelly coming on, I think that was for Andros Townsend.
That's very early, because that's all substitutions done.
With over half an hour to go, plus what's going to be some sizable stoppage time after.
If Townsend's not injured, I think that's quite a gamble, I've got to say.
Kante, the game finally restarted at Stamford Bridge. 3 changes used by Sir Allardyce and Crystal Palace, with 30 minutes plus added time to go. They lead Palace by 2 goals to 1. Hazard in a pocket of space, running at Delaney, who blocks the ball with his left leg. His first involvement in the action. Mamadou Sakho will have to stand firm for the remainder of this afternoon's affair. Now at the other end, Benteke finds Punchin. First time ball, Zaha through. It's Wilfried Zaha. It's an excellent save from the left leg of Thibaut Courtois that could make all the difference this afternoon.
And that's what Palace can do, but that has to go in. For me, that goes in. They've got a chance of winning. It's a great ball, lovely play. Takes it onto his left foot. It's a fantastic save. It really is. It's one of those match-winning saves, I've got to say. Gives Chelsea a chance, but he doesn't catch it as he'd like. But he scuffs it a little bit. But it's going in. It's a great save.
His 98th club appearance for Chelsea, Thibaut Courtois, and that's what we've seen all season from him. So often a bystander, a witness, a passenger in the game, just watching what's going on, and then forced into quick action. It's an important save that keeps this game alive, keeps Chelsea in the game. Punches, disguise ball.
Offside.
Cabaye offside. 61 minutes gone. Opening goal at Vicarage Road. Watford taking on Sunderland. Which way has it gone? Adam Bridge.
Towards the edge of the 6-yard box. Free header and onto the post. Otaka with it originally and now in. And it's in by Britos. And it's 1-0 to Watford. The original header comes back off the crossbar. And Britos from.
An ugly goal in what has been called a must-win game by both managers.
It doesn't matter how ugly it is, I'll tell you that much.
Forward looking for Eden Hazard there. Couldn't bring the ball in for Crystal Palace deep inside their own territory. And of course, don't forget, you can get involved at Talk Sport Live. We want to hear from you with your tweets. Get involved with your opinions. Do you think Palace can hold on?
Joel Ward just walks about 15 yards taking that throw. It's incredible.
Every trick in the book. Game management. They have a term for it now, Morts, don't they?
They will slow the game down because what they want to do is just stop the rhythm that Chelsea have managed to keep going.
Up to the left-hand side. First time by Alonso across the near post. Cleared away by, I think, Martin Kelly, who's a third centre-half now for Crystal Palace, and alongside Delaney and Saka. Alonso cut back on the edge of the box. A pinball. Calls for handball. Craig Pawson not interested. Cleared away by Palace, and then punch and bulldoze Azpilicueta off the ball. Free kick just inside Chelsea territory, taken quickly. Kante across the pitch for Pedro. Options to his left and right, one of them in the form of recent substitute Willian. What can he ignite for Chelsea? Fabregas in alongside Kante in the heart of the midfield with Matic withdrawn. Cahill over halfway, allowed to engage and probe. Hazard the same, out to this right hand side with Willian. Yard in from this dead ball line in towards the box. It was a dangerous header that had to be made by Delaney, but it would have made maybe more sense just to volley it away. He took it almost off his own ankles.
Well, yeah, I mean, listen, he's got it away, which is what matters. Wonderful skill from Willian. Again, it's just the pace off the mark is absolutely fantastic, and to deliver quality, which is what he's capable of.
It's pretty in the eye from Chelsea, but still they've not found the goal to get them back in the game. You play all you want in and around here, that's what Sam Allardyce will be saying. It's in and around the penalty area, the business area, cleared away by Delaney as far as N'Golo Kante. That's to Willian on this right hand side. Holds up Sacco and flashes it, drills it in towards the near post, but straight down the throat of Wayne Hennessy.
And he's ready today, Hennessy, isn't he? He looks sharp and lively and ready for anything that they throw at him.
Well, there's mornings where you know he's had a good breakfast.
He's had his ready break, hasn't he?
Yeah.
You know the sun's risen in the west. He's had his ready break and he's ready to go. And he looks firm. He looks solid. He looks like it's going to have to take a mistake or something special to beat him.
From the back with David Luiz. Lob forward, looking for Alonso, who plucks the ball out of the afternoon sky and ahead of Ward. Finding Hazard now, left of centre. Lovely ball into Fabregas, who helps it on. Looking for Costa, who lost his footing at the crucial second under pressure from Delaney. It's throw your body on top of the ball. It's do what you must to get the ball away.
That's what they're doing. They're working their socks off to get the ball away. But the thing about it is, how long can they keep that going?
Cut back by Pedro. Straight to Delaney, and frustration growing around the stands at Stamford Bridge.
Without a doubt. I mean, Benteke's got to do better there. That's terrible. What Palace have to do is keep the ball better. They've got to keep it. At the moment, they're clearing everything, even when they've got time to do it. You keep giving it back to Chelsea. At the moment, Dan, it's just attack versus defence. They're good enough to create another chance. In the 15 minutes we've got left, they will create another chance.
Fabregas. So often we've seen it for years and years at Arsenal, Barcelona, now Chelsea, that arrowed right to left, left to right ball in behind defenders, this time trying to get Pedro in behind, just couldn't quite get there, the Spanish international.
And pardon my maths, 25 minutes we've got left, at least. And you know, if they continue to play like this, Crystal Palace, continue to keep serving the ball back to Chelsea, Chelsea will create a chance without a doubt. They've got to be better in possession and keep it. That's the way to frustrate Chelsea.
Schlupp to Zaha. In a real bright spot for Crystal Palace this afternoon, and he's been brought down. A bit of a shirt pull on David Luiz, who's just gesticulating that he felt there was a little kick out from Wilfried Zaha on the ground.
You know, again, Zaha showed great strength and then fell over. It's a foul, but I think he tends to overplay it just a little bit. But you know, he's been a bright spark again for Palace. Not as effective this half because they've been under the cosh, but I have to say I've been really impressed with parts of his play today. They can nick a goal now. Wow. That's all I'll say.
Maybe a one huge step closer to securing 3 points at Stamford Bridge. Delivered by Kabay, and it's flashed across the far post. Milivojevic is run completely untracked. I think the Chelsea defensive unit said, we'll stand here.
And
anyone that drops in will play offside.
And he is, he's miles offside.
Gamble, but the Kabay free kick almost goes straight in. Courtois beat him for me.
It's on target. That gives Courtois trouble, without a doubt.
A late challenge, Christian Benteke flying in on Gary Cahill. And Craig Pawson just looking to extinguish.
Can see what he's trying to do, Benteke, but it's a definite booking. Just catches him. Yeah, it's
Cahill. Very quick to plead innocence, but understand his booking. No annoyance from him. And then up the other end, Eden Hazard is judged to have fouled Martin Kelly.
Again, another foul, without a doubt. He's tried to nick past him where he has no chance of getting it. Player goes down easy, but it is a foul. But you see how quick Chelsea attack, and that first ball in is held, and that means that the support runners can get on their bike and be played in.
A scrappy few minutes in what's been a hugely entertaining game. Chelsea 21 points, that magic number for them, what they need to achieve Premier League silverware.
These will be the hardest 21 points, by the way, Ben.
Yeah, to take everything out of anyone else's control.
These will be the hardest 21 points because they now know how much they need. Wow. Every single game from now on in is going to have that pressure on it. He'll get booked in a minute, Joel Ward, if he continues to take forever to take a throw-in.
Throw-in finds Zaha, now punching. Wilfried Zaha again, met by the firm challenge of
foul at all.
Kante, robust and tenacious, the midfielder. Now Cesc Fabregas moving forward into Pedro's path. Right hand side, a few yards from this near touchline. Azpilicueta overlapping with some gusto. It's delivered in towards the near post and eventually, and I say eventually, smothered away by Kelly.
Yeah, took its time. And this is where they need to keep the ball, but it's very difficult for them. So the 2v1s wide is what they've got to look out for too.
Costa doing enough to Christian Willian, back into the path of Costa, cuts it across the box, it's cleared away. It's a back five for Palace now, having to hold out. Pedro on the edge for Cesc Fabregas, intercepted by Kabay, who's also shielding him, and Milivojevic just in ahead of them. So it's a back seven really for Crystal Palace. No advantage play. Zaha furious.
He should be furious. It's a terrible refereeing decision because he's gone. If he turns, he's gone. He's completely gone, and the ref blows the whistle once he's gone. It's terrible. He should just left it a heartbeat, and then he's off Zaha, off and running at the one defender that was left. So you can see why he's fuming.
You do have to say, Pawson very quick to apologise.
Yeah, that doesn't help because he's gone. He's gone now. He's only got Kante and he's gone. But they're the chances they live for at the moment. Palace.
20 minutes to go, plus added time. There'll be a fair bit of it due to the injury of Scott Dan early in this second half. But Palace doing what they must, doing enough to be leading and potentially winning at Stamford Bridge. Foul by David Luiz through the back of Christian Benteke. Frustrations, this one just simmering.
Well, it's a foul. He's won the ball, but he's won it through, if you can see. Yeah, he goes through the player to win it. He doesn't even touch the ball, so it always makes me laugh when he's got the ump about it, when he hasn't touched the ball at all. But there you go. I think if they can, again, if Palace can nick one, good quality, because I tell you what, this is a chance. If they get it right, it's a chance. But if they can nick one now, it would be very interesting, because Chelsea, for me, will create more chances.
It's 20 yards from goal, left of centre. Right foot of Kabay. Choose to lob it in towards the far post. Flicked down, Benteke. Golden opportunity for those in yellow, Crystal Palace. Benteke just couldn't get over the top of the ball and force it underneath the body of Thibaut Courtois. Kept alive brilliantly at the far post by Damien Delaney.
Well, he's saying he didn't touch it, Benteke. He's saying it was nicked off of him. And I tell you what, it's a corner, I think. But that's difficult for the ref or the assistant referee to see.
Hazard. Benteke!
And you see how deep Palace are now. Even, the ball's 25-30 yards from their box, but they're just a little bit too deep.
5 defenders on couple sitting in front. It's the normal thing to do, isn't it? It's what you expect. Willian, a flaring arm by Miljevic, and I think he's started the last 4 Premier League games. I think he realises that he's not going to get away with another one.
Well, he'd done really well to get to 72 minutes with the amount of fouls he'd conceded. I've got to say, he'd done fantastically well.
Nearing 250 career caps. January signing from Olympiacos. 3.5-year deal, 16 million quid spent on him, but he's been an astute signing in that midfield alongside Kabay, bring the best out of the Frenchman alongside him as well. They've been right up for the fight in there, they really have. Got a freaking opportunity out of a real nothing foul. David Luiz over it, Willian as well. Now Willian, 8 of his last 19 goals all from direct free kicks, and it's Willian with a purpose, shoots over the bar.
Again, it would have to be something special to beat Hennessy today. And accurate. I mean, it's curling over, it's going straight, sort of centrally. So the keeper should be able to get behind that and at least get something on it.
We've had to wait well over an hour for the opening goal at Turf Moor. We finally got it. Toby Gillis
in towards the near post. It's going all the way across. Surely Eric Dyer makes it 1-0 to Tottenham and sends the away fans into raptures. They've been knocking on the door for the entire second half, and Eric Dyer,
not just a goal for Tottenham, but they'll also certainly the Tottenham fans will be keeping an eye on this result.
Most definitely, yeah.
It would make it 7, wouldn't it? It keeps it alive.
All you've got to do is get it closer and closer and closer, and that's it. Like I say, these 21 points will be the hardest ones that they'll have to get, because most teams they're playing will have something on the game.
It's confirming that change, and it's Batshuayi that came on, wasn't it, for Marcos Alonso. That change for Chelsea. In towards the box now with Schlupp, who drove in off his left-hand side, came inside a couple of men as well, eventually hit the obstacle in the form of Gary Cahill, cleared the ball away. Inside the final 16 minutes plus added on time. Time ticking on Chelsea. Willian though for Batshuayi, up alongside Costa now. Going to be the man to save Chelsea this afternoon. So in and out of the side this season. Willian, Fabregas, Zaha clearing the ball away. Only as far as N'Golo Kante though. Hazard to the dead ball line, stands up. Miljevic is in towards the box for Costa, and he's got to hit the target. If he hits the target, Paul Mortimer, surely he scores.
I think Saka will be fuming. I think there's a slight nudge on him, I think, if we see it. Yep, there's a slight push. Ref doesn't see it. If he catches it right and it's a goal, Palace will be fuming. But for me, it's not that bit. It's the bit that allows him the opportunity to head the ball. Hazard wide. They've got to double up on him and stop him putting the ball in the box. It's far too easy, and he's under not as much pressure as he needs to be, Hazard. They get the ball wide to him, he puts the ball in the box. It's far too easy.
I'm not really sure how Costa's missed the target there.
Well, he's through heading it before it's turned up, that's why. So he's caught it. He hasn't caught it as fully as he'd like to have.
Cleared away by Chelsea. In the last 5 or so minutes, Palace actually offered more of a threat on the front foot than they have throughout the whole of the second half.
What they've managed to do is just sort of fracture the rhythm that Chelsea were playing under, and just slowed it down a little bit. So it's given them the opportunity to get the ball and get more touches on the ball. But they are too deep.
Kante across the pitch, Franz Laqueta, who's invited forward by his Chelsea colleagues. Out to Willian on this right-hand side, flashed it across the box. Excellent defending from Mamadou Sakho, who's been an absolute revelation. Bombed out of Liverpool, wasn't wanted by Jurgen Klopp, couldn't find a club in January, deadline day. Late move to Crystal Palace.
Been fantastic.
Been superb.
And it's the step up, I think, in player that they needed. And he's come along and he's led the way, which is what you want from a player like that. He's led the way, don't have to be captain, led the way beautifully.
As he run out of space there, a nasty collision. Pedro with the advertising
didn't get anything for it either.
And didn't run it out of play in the end. Ward tracked him fully. Just edge behind for a goal kick, I think, before Pedro was able to fire it offward at close range. 77 minutes gone, Paul Mortimer. 30 minutes plus added time to go. Just give us your idea, your impression of what Sam Allardyce will be trying to say to his Crystal Palace, knowing time's ticking by, but how they can best get something from this.
Where he is now is not what they can gain, but what they can lose, because this is 3 points. And you know Chelsea are capable of scoring multiple goals quickly. So at this moment in time, those 3 points will be absolutely a godsend for them. But he can't think about that. He's got to keep the players focused, because they'll be starting to fatigue now. They've had to work their socks off. They've been starting to fatigue now. So it's about, look how deep they are. Look how deep Punchin is. He should be up and tight to Pedro, but he's not. And now when they win it, look what they do with it. Well, that's not a bad ball.
1-4 for Zaha.
He's in trouble.
Won the foot race with Gary
Cahill.
In trouble. And he's in trouble. He's not the last man, Gary Cahill.
He won't be off, but it's a yellow card.
It's a yellow card. Cahill, towing a caravan, couldn't keep up with the dynamic run of Wilfried Zaha, who left him lagging behind.
Cahill's pointing at the ball. Yeah, Cahill's looking to flick the ball off the pitch. So if the ball's gone that way, he definitely hasn't got it.
The Chelsea captain into the book, should say a return to the bench for John Terry, the club servant. He's not going to see many minutes, or any minutes this afternoon, you expect, with this situation in front of him.
And that may be what Palace do, put the ball in the channels.
It's hard to chase Cabayan towards the box. Sacco had come forward as well. They've committed 1-2 of their defenders.
Now they attack quickly. It's poor. Cannot put it into the keeper's arms. Not with Sacco out of position.
Willian down the right side, found by Batshuayi.
It's out of play.
Towards the box, flicked out by Pedro. Fabregas. Little squeeze ball across the box. Batshuayi was waiting. He slams the crossbar in frustration. Was in ahead of him. That man again, Mamadou Sakho, diverts it behind.
He's picking up great positions. The 2 players out wide for Crystal Palace. The 3 of them against the 2. It's terrible defending, I've got to say. Cabaye out there, ball watching. Pedro gets in. Sakho to the rescue yet again.
Fabregas in towards the box. Hennessy comes and gathers the ball in his chest, and there's nothing you like more as a centre-half, as a defender, when your keeper comes and takes control of the situation.
Takes the pressure off. What it looks like now, if you look at the last 20 minutes, they've just gone off the boil, Chelsea. Just a little bit. Not quite as they were. And that's what you need as a team like Palace. You need them. You need to be making sure that Chelsea aren't at their best, that they're just quite off it. Your goalkeeper's playing well. You're not making mistakes. You're looking a threat going forward. All the ingredients are there for a Palace win, but you know, what's there, 10 minutes to go? Oh, it's going to be the longest 10 minutes, I've got to say.
Azpilicueta delivers in towards the box, flicked away by Delaney. Out to the left-hand side with Pedro, though. Steps inside Wards and smashes it in. Surely Costa will help the ball home.
Sakho,
and underneath the crossbar, there's Mamadou Sakho. Just scream at the top of his lungs and just slam it away.
Incredible.
It's a brave style performance from Mamadou Sakho, thumping his chest as Chelsea just carry on coming. In towards the box. Cleared away by Benteke at the near post. Surely they can't hang on for the whole 90. Backs against the wall, in towards the box by Willian. Cahill trying to get across Sakho at the near post. There was no contact, there was no clinical finish.
Well, Conte be fuming. 5 players on their heels. There's only one place he can really put it. 5 of their players on their heels. He does absolutely everything right. One has got to get across that near post. One does, the other 4 just standing and watching. Be fuming.
In wide areas, they're just ganging up on them, Chelsea, aren't they?
They are.
And again, it's Hazard who's moving left of centre just to try and influence, and where he feels he can have the most luck up against Ward and Kelly. Fabregas in for Batshuayi, headed away by Delaney. Now Luis Kante slides it into the inside right channel of the penalty area, looking for Michy Batshuayi.
Stopped running, didn't he? Would have been a decent ball.
1 Premier League goal this season for the Chelsea forward. All his 17 Premier League appearances have been off the bench.
Well, it's a strange one.
Lacking confidence, isn't he?
Because, you know, you can't say he's played games, he's played minutes. Do you know what I mean? And it's 5 minutes here, 5 minutes here, 10 minutes here. It really isn't enough to get going, you know?
18 attempts on goal for Chelsea. The stats tell you something very different to the scoreline. 9 on target, 3 on target for Crystal Palace, 2 of them goals, and that's the stat that matters.
It's all that matters. Oh dear, Luis has lost his head a little bit. Some of the language wasn't great. It's a foul. Get on with the game.
Yellow card for dissent. They're coming together between him and Christian Benteke.
They're both at it, but Luis is trying to swap shirts with 10 minutes to go, so it's a definite foul. And what they've got to do is just remain focused and concentrate. But Palace have got under their skin a little bit. They really have.
It's two sides of a coin. How winning can become a habit. When you're losing, when you're not having your own way, when you're frustrated, sometimes those emotions very quickly come to the fore, don't they?
And that's where they are. Is he offside? I think he's offside.
Surely he is.
No, it's brainless play. It's brainless play. Really is, honestly.
Wilfried Zaha with nothing really on for the free kick. Went to retrieve the ball, run out to his left-hand side, but set off in an offside position.
You give the ball back to Chelsea. Put it in the stand or get a shot at goal or something like that, so you can get back and get back into good defensive starting positions. That was sloppy.
Just over 6.5 minutes plus added time to go at the end of the 90 minutes on Premier League Live with TalkSport. Chelsea 1, Crystal Palace 2. No goals. Christian Benteke is in the 11th minute.
Too easy,
Hazard on the edge of the box shoots with a little right foot curler, blocked away by Delaney. Picked up by Pedro though. Now seconds with Fabregas. This time flying out is Milijevic to clear the ball away. Every second you edge closer, you grow strength and confidence, says Fabregas to the dead ball line, hung up towards Costa, headed away by Schlupp. Now Sacco don't want to dive in, he just comes together with Costa, but Costa does manage to usher the ball behind for a Chelsea corner.
Again, good play, good attack, great defending. Can they keep it going? Can Palace keep concentrated?
They're all up from the back. Willian with the delivery, headed away by Benteke, who's defensively back there to deal with some set pieces, being a very helpful hand. Willian though down this right side again, Fabregas onside, in towards the box, looking for Luis, stretching fully was, I think, Joel Ward to divert the ball away in a header down in Luis.
It's a great header.
Just to get something on the ball in ahead of the Brazilian.
Well, it's attack versus defence, isn't it?
Willian found by Hazard. Fabregas blocked by the feet of Hennessy. They just keep coming.
Can they hold
attack
out?
After attack, it's relentless on the goal of Crystal Palace, but still Chelsea 1, Crystal Palace 2. Fabregas, Willian, Fabregas again, brought down by Willian, right of centre, just inside the 18-yard box, stands up Schlupp and fires it across the box. There's 8 Crystal Palace shirts in there to deal with that cross now.
Everyone's back, and it's quite right too, because it is backs against the wall. They've been magnificent, Chelsea, I've got to say, in terms of their attacking intent. It's just that final ball, final cross.
Hazard, space for Pedro. First time across the box, too close to Hennessy on this occasion. And Wayne Hennessy, well, will he produce, without wanting to talk too soon, will he produce a better performance this season?
Well, so far he's been fantastic. Aided by Mamadou Sakho at the back, I've got to say, and Crystal Palace's defence. It's been a great performance so far.
Kante now playing as a centre half with the likes of Cahill and Luis invited to get forward by Antonio Conte.
Oh, gets up. That's
Luis
embarrassing.
And Zaha had a coming together on this near side off the ball.
Luis took a couple of steps, then fell over. Forget all that. Let's get on with it. Zaha needs to get on with the game as well.
Yeah, Craig Pawson done his best to diffuse those little ugly bits, and I think the game's mostly, at the most part, flowed nicely.
Doesn't need that, but I can sense Chelsea's frustrations because it's not going their way.
Hazard right off the front against a couple of Crystal Palace challenges, including Kabay and Milijevic. Got to be a careful boy.
He could be in a bit of trouble.
Yellow card catching N'Golo Kante about 30 yards from goal.
Needs to be careful, I've got to say, and he's in there to make these type of challenges, but for that one he cannot complain. I think he's quite fortunate, like I say.
Another free kick. Countless amounts of set pieces that Chelsea have worked into the box, but the likes of Hennessy, Sacco, now Delaney, and Kelly back there standing firm in towards the box. Headed over the bar, is it by David Luiz? It is. Successfully tracked and shackled by Joel Ward on that occasion, and the shake of the head, the flowing locks of David Luiz epitomises how Chelsea fans, players and management will be feeling Paul Morsford at this moment in time.
They know, the fans know, it's just not their day. But what normally happens with Chelsea on these days is a draw. We played terribly, but we've nicked a draw. And that's why I look at them, even with 3 or 4 minutes to go, and still believe that they'll create one chance. Sam Allardyce knows that too.
Flurry of goals early on, proving decisive this afternoon. Chelsea to have a late goal in their locker. They left it incredibly late to win at the Bet365 Stadium before the international break against Stoke, didn't they?
Exactly right.
They keep coming.
And for me, that's why I'll always think they've got a chance, because they keep coming and they'll go late into the day to score, and their heads won't drop when it comes to that. They have confidence in themselves.
Free kick though for Crystal Palace deep inside Chelsea territory, where they can take their time over it. Taken short by Kabay into Schlupp. Back on halfway with Mamadou Sakho, who clips it down the left-hand side onto the chest of Zaha. Constant outball for Palace this afternoon, a goal scorer of 1 as well. Now Hazard looking for Willian, out of play.
And he's been pretty quiet, Hazard. Just in the last
second
10
half
minutes,
especially,
he's not been as much of a focal point as he was in the first half.
Let's quickly get to the cake on another goal.
It's a corner kick that Krasicki will take. In towards the net post. Ranocchia is there! What a big goal this could be for Hull!
Big goal for Hull. Torrid times continue for West Ham and Slaven Bilic. Mikey Pereira riding that commentary there. Troubling times. We speculate at half-time, would this be the last for Slaven Bilic if they were defeated on Humberside? A big talking point tonight, no doubt, for the powers that be at the London Stadium. Our focus here at Stamford Bridge in the capital. Crystal Palace yet to win a London derby match this season. They'd scored none in those 5 as well. Well, they're doing it in real style if they can hang on here. We're into the final 30 seconds of the 90. Delivered into Costa, who rose up above Martin Kelly, but did enough to knock him off balance. And Costa would have done with almost a Superman style header. Would have done brilliantly, not just to hit the target at all, really.
Well, he'd have done wonderfully well to put that in the net. I've got to say, I'll make the keeper work from there. Great ball from Fabregas again. It's just not their day, it seems.
Now, what are we going to get? 7 minutes. Right. Scott down injured for 3 or 4 at least.
There's a bit of cramp.
And now Mamadou Sakho is on his backside, needing a little bit of help with cramp. So that 7's only going to become 8 or 9, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
We're here for the foreseeable, Mort.
Yep, we are. And all the Chelsea players are having a moan up and everything. It doesn't change anything. Diego Costa looking like he's got a watch on. Just the ref will know what he's doing. The ref will give them the amount.
3 watches on referees nowadays, haven't they?
He will give them. He doesn't need the players to say anything. He will be able to deal with that. This is where they show their frustration. Leave the ref to get on with it. Leave him to get on with it.
It's the Crystal Palace fans that you can hear to our right. Sakho taking on a little refreshment. 1 or 2 words with the medical staff. He's okay.
He's fine, but what it'll be is they will slow everything down for Crystal Palace. It will take forever to take a throw in. They will do that, and that is their right. That is their right. They've worked their socks off to get into the position they are now, and they really do not want to lose.
Hennessy taking his time over this goal kick as well. One of the 7's already gone. We've not even had the ball kicked yet.
Exactly. So that 7, that one won't count, I've got to say.
Pedro. Short into Fabregas. Is there a late twist to the tail? Or is it Crystal Palace doing everyone below Chelsea a little favour and keeping this title race alive? Bringing Spurs back into the picture. Delivered into the box by Pedro. Batshuayi holding off Kelly. Twists on his outside. But Kelly held him and blocked him behind for a corner.
Great defending again. good play to get the ball in there. Lovely play wide Chelsea have put together all game, but all of a sudden Palace's central three defenders and everyone around have defended beautifully.
Corner taken short for Pedro from Fabregas, met by Zaha. Now Kante into Hazard's path on the edge of the box. Plenty of blue shirts to aim for. It's out to his right hand side with Willian, held up by Kelly. Now Azpilicueta to the middle, not too central the ball. And that is poor from the centre half, and it's straight down the throat of Hennessy. And every attack they deal with, every block, every time they manage to get out,
well, they're dealing with it. And this will be something that Conte has not come up against, especially at this crucial point of the season. He's not come up against this before, where they're down, they've got to score a goal, and they just, for all their play, don't look likely to score at the moment.
73% of the possession Chelsea have had this afternoon. Incredible stats. Puncheon in the 18-yard box here, though, for Chelsea. On the edge now with Milijevic. Can they wrap up the afternoon? Schlupp runs into Azpilicueta's challenge when he had options on. Picked up by Milijevic, though, bundled over by Batshuayi. Free kick given.
Good play from, I think it's Milijevic, because he had to be right. Schlupp's just played a terrible pass, put them in trouble, and he's had to deal with it really well. Good play. Again, like I say, there's what 3.5 minutes, 2.5 minutes maybe?
Him and Kabay put a lot of fires out. It's easy to talk about Mamadou Sakho, but it's just in front of them, that shield, they've been excellent.
They've worked their socks off. They'll sleep well tonight, let's put it that way. Some of the players have really worked hard.
Free kick.
Be surprised if they knock this long.
Paulson demanding the ball be or something done with it. Sakho short for Kabay. Was that out from
still on?
Schlupp, just keeping the ball in.
Oh, lovely play.
Lovely flick by Zaha in towards the box. Schlupp cuts it back. It's Wilfried Zaha! Golden opportunity to secure all 3 points at the league leaders, but he flashes his shot over the bar.
Wow, what a wonderful bit of play that was from start to finish. Zaha instrumental in it. Good cutback from Schlupp. And it's a chance. He should score. He should at least make the keeper work. It's a chance to kill the game off stone dead.
Will that be the chance, the moment we're talking about, if Chelsea gets something at the last?
You know, to come to the home of the team that look like they're going to win the title, and play the way they've done, and score more goals, and put such a shift in, you know, however it ends, they can be really proud of their performance.
Pedro down the left, weaker left foot delivers, flicked away by Sakho, only as far as Willian though. Schlupp stands him up, blocks the ball away, and then hooked away by Wilfried Zaha. Cahill into the feet of Azpilicueta. Out to this right hand side with Willian, stays onside, flashes a cross ankle height, and then it hit Azpilicueta up from the back. We'll go behind for a goal kick. 5 minutes of the 7 added on has expired. Morts.
Well,
they're getting it done.
Yep, it's management again.
Mamadou Sakho's been held together by sticky tape.
They're going to be dropping like flies. They have put so much work into this. They've had to harry and hassle and shut things down and close areas off and really work hard without the ball. Sakho's down again.
They've used their 3 subs, haven't they?
He's got to plan, and that's the problem you have when you use your subs that early. His legs have gone. You may have to stick him up front just to run around and put someone back there. You're going to have to do it. But this is not what you want, really, if you're Palace and if you're Chelsea, because you don't want the ref to add even more time on.
Well, 7 minutes. We're going to have a few more on top of that.
We definitely are, and that's a problem.
And Craig Paulson is just quickly explaining to all around him the watches stopped.
Well, he said, look, you know, 5 of me 6 watches have stopped. You're all right. It's okay. We're fine. You know.
I think he likes that isotonic drink as well, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Chelsea are ready in their 3rd and final change.
Wow.
Will be Ruben Loftus-Cheek, it looks like, to be thrown on. Not sure what that says an awful lot about the forward, what he thinks of him throwing him on at this time.
Well, I don't know what can happen. I think his legs have gone, Sakho, but he's going to have to come back on, unfortunately. Fabregas has gone off.
Yeah, Fabregas, the goal scorer.
So they're just going to lock out the pitch.
There are no formations now.
No.
Get up there, get something, try and keep an attack alive. Sacco limping off to his near side. Ruben Loftus-Cheek thrown on by Chelsea. The final throw of the dice from Antonio Conte. A rare defeat for him. A rare defeat for somebody like N'Golo Kante, who's won 44 of 64 Premier League games.
Wow.
These guys don't suffer defeats.
No, they don't.
It doesn't happen. It's not in their repertoire. Well, Crystal Palace are doing a job on them this afternoon at this moment in time. And there's Wilfried Zaha back there to do some defending. Trying to juggle the ball about on his own dead ball line. He's gifted it to Costa.
Well, he's tried to look for a foul. Just put it in Rosette. That's when you put it in Rosette.
Hazard. Pedro cuts it back.
Great defending.
Block there from Joel Ward.
He's done that beautifully well today, Joel Ward. Block crosses. It's important you can do that.
Pedro again. Trying to see if Sacco's returns to try and do some defending. I'm not sure yet. Puncheon.
Got to get out to the ball.
Away. Kante across the box in towards Schlupp. Sacco's back on, tracking the run of Cahill. 8 minutes gone. Cuts it back on the edge. Luis in towards the box, headed away by Ward off the defender.
It's a foul.
Foul.
Should be a foul.
That could be almost it.
It's an amazing game, I've got to say. Yeah, it's a foul. Chelsea just went off the boil at the wrong time. Palace have been absolutely magnificent from start to finish. They've attacked when they needed to attack. They've taken their chances. They've defended like Trojans. They've put their body everywhere. Sacco's body's beginning to fall apart. He's still out there. It's been a wonderful performance.
Cleared forward by Hennessy. Foul. Benteke, soft on Cahill, given by Craig Pawson. Another opportunity as Chelsea throw everything forward, everything plus the kitchen sink now. Hazard down, free kick given. Ilijevic, that's soft.
You let him run into the corner there, give him a free kick, so they'll lump everyone forward. There's a chance now.
Here comes Courtois. Here comes the tall, powerful goalkeeper. Surely not.
Well, this is it. 99 minutes. This is it.
A line of Palace defenders being held on the edge of the box. It'll be whipped in by Willian. It's in towards the box. Hennessy comes a long way and gets two firm fists on the ball.
Nope.
No,
it's not over
the
yet.
Palace fans are reacting.
It's not over
it's
yet.
Not over yet.
It's not over
yet. Everyone is offside. The Palace players and support staff are on the pitch. The Crystal Palace fans are celebrating. It's just offside.
It's only offside he's given. Looks like there's another 10 minutes to go in there.
These celebrations are a little premature.
No doubt.
On the Crystal Palace fans. Finally they've got a ball back.
It's a fantastic result.
A premature punch of the air from Sam Allardyce, but surely this could be the last kick. He missed the last train. Southampton Bournemouth on Premier League Live this evening as well, and that is the last kick, and it's 3 points for Crystal Palace at the champions elect. Chelsea have been defeated at Stamford Bridge, and it doesn't get much bigger than that, Paul Mortimer.
Well,
3 goals in the opening 12 minutes of the match, and you have to say that was brilliant from Crystal Palace.
Fantastic.
Backs to the wall, defensive rearguard performance, so many players outstanding.
They've deserved it. They performed beautifully, defended well, attacked when they needed to, rode their luck as well. Keeper made saves when he needed to. Chelsea slightly off the ball. I think Sam Allardyce said that. You have to catch him